Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes
Can
or
you hear
no?
me? Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you, so I don't know.
I can hear
I
you.
can't hear you.
All right. But it can,
All right, wait. There you go.
okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, let me. It's a problem with the mic.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. Sometimes this microphone it throws everything off. I don't know.
Which one you got? You got the Blue Yeti? But yeah.
All right. Just so we could do a breakdown. I guess we could cover all of them. It won't be too long. The Nets will probably be because I'm gonna have so much shit to say. I promise I'll go last. I won't take up too much.
You don't
Devin
have
Booker-
extensive paperwork, do you?
No, I don't have it. I have
Okay.
I have some shit I want to say.
He's
the
got
surprise-
notepads and
Yeah, I
he
got the
does.
phone on me. I got the two phones on me, shit like that.
Look at Kai. He's like, oh no.
He's like,
He
we're gonna be
literally
here-
did this shit.
We're gonna
Oh,
be here till like
no.
12.
All right. Let's
And
just
then-
jump in, man. We trust you, Russ.
All right,
I
you know,
know
I'm
you
just
ain't
saying we
around.
could just move us along. Like, so surprising stars won't be long. We'll just be like, oh, this guy, blah blah. Then go about the upsets. That would be quick. And I guess wrapping up Golden State favorite to win, and then Embiid's injury. Take it from
All
there.
right.
All right. We all good?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Hoops All In podcast. I'm your host, Worland's Francois. We got Kane Legacy. We got Kyle Anthony in the building.
Hey.
What is up, ladies and gents? How you guys doing?
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing, guys?
Man. It's been a long time. It's been a minute. We are in the thick of NBA playoffs at the time of this recording. A lot of stuff's going on. Round one, a lot of action. The best time of the year, postseason of the NBA, and we're gonna get right to it. So listen, the Brooklyn Nets, my Brooklyn Nets, have been struggling so far this series. Most likely going to get swept at the time of this recording if they haven't got swept already. But I want to ask you guys, why have the Brooklyn Nets struggled so much against the Boston Celtics? And what does the future hold for Brooklyn if they do end up losing in the first round to the Boston Celtics, which they look like they might get swept? What do you guys think about this? Should they blow it up? Should new changes be coming to the Nets? What are your thoughts?
Well, I hate the fact that every time somebody, a team struggles beyond people's expectations or don't reach the expectations, that everybody's like, oh, blow up this team, trade this player, fire this coach. That knee-jerk reaction is so common. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, you know, this is not a scripted TV series where you can just change characters episode to episode, game to game. It's just like, you know, I mean, you know, there's a lot of factors involved in terms of them not having that consistency. You know, it all goes back to last season when, you know, Harden, Durant, and Irving were never healthy, hardly ever healthy at the same time. And they lost their continuity. They didn't really build that on-court chemistry that was necessary. You know, and it kind of extended into this season between the drama of Harden, you know, forcing his way out or faking his way out, however you want to put it, and you know, Kyrie's personal choices about vaccinations, and then, you know, Ben Simmons, will he or will he not play? Will he or will he be ready? You know, all this stuff and everything. There's too many. There were just so many little factors that had nothing to do with the actual product on the court, that I really don't think it's a matter of saying, oh, you know what, this is just not working, let's pull the plug. That's just my take on it.
Do you think give them some time?
I mean, you know, you can't give it forever because this team was built, as they say, built for a championship, you know. But, you know, I say it over and over again, I should just make a sign and hold it up every now and then, because it's you don't play this game on paper. You know, the Lakers learned that the hard way this season, and you know, the Nets are right there with them in that regard. You can't say, you know, yeah, you can look at a roster and say, oh, there's no reason why this team shouldn't go deep, if not all the way. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, what shows up on the roster on paper does not account for all those little X factors, health and injuries and all that stuff. So, you know.
Man, the Nets, I agree with Kyle on that. You know what I mean? It just maybe a thing of needing time to gel. The whole COVID thing with Kyrie didn't help this year. You know what I mean? That set them back a few games. But honestly, if you're talking about just the playoffs, their biggest problem has been Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? The boy, what, 30 points a game? You know, he's doing its thing against Kevin Durant. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, when the Tatum and Brown going to really elevate? You know, are they the leaders of this team? Are they real leaders? When are they? Well, they're peaking at the right time. Let's put it that way.
In the playoffs, yeah, you know, and that's when a lot of the paperwork gets thrown out the window. You know what I mean? Like playoff intensity brings it out of dudes. So, you know, Boston's doing their thing. Tatum is a superstar, so he's just showing he's a superstar. You know what I mean? And that's,
as they say in Boston, superstar.
Superstar. And yeah, man, and Tatum is their biggest problem right now. You know, like he's playing good on both ends of the court, you know, and that's the way I see it, you know.
Yeah. I just don't like when you know, people don't give credit to the winning team. They always have to say, well, the you know, the Nets have these guys. You know, there must be something wrong with them. Maybe they're ill. Maybe they're hiding an injury. No, why don't you give credit to?
I'm giving credit
to the players who are playing good team, solid team defense, and just know the schemes on how to isolate, how to contain.
That's how I feel. I'm giving credit to this. Absolutely, I agree with you. Credit to the Celtics. Credit to Jason Tatum. Definitely, absolutely. To the winner goes those spoils. You know. Yeah, Wells.
Now I know you guys have been waiting for my whole reaction, considering I'm the biggest Brooklyn Nets fan here, a part of this team. And I'm going to ask this politely. I don't want any interruptions because I have a whole bunch of things that I want to get off my chest. And I'm trying not to go Stephen A. Smith like all.
But you're actually doing an impression of him right now. You even have the facial expressions.
Yeah, you really do.
Because see, I'm telling you, I have so much things that I want to say to get off my chest because I am really, as a fan of a team that you've been watching growing up. I know you live in New York. Why are you not a Knicks fan? Because the Knicks suck. The Nets were better, blah, blah, whatever. I don't want to get into that. Getting a team that was assembled to win a championship, you have 3 superstars at one time. It didn't work, blah, 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 whatever. We could go down that road all the time. It didn't work. You still have two of what people call the most skilled offensive one-on players of all time, which I agree. But I got to go back to your point. You know what? Give Boston Celtics their credit. Jason Tatum is doing a hell of a job guarding KD. He's taking his lunch and he's giving it to him on the offensive end, okay? Give credit to the Boston Celtics defense as a whole. They're doubling Kevin Durant in his spots. They're putting bodies on him. They're getting physical with him. They're getting up under him, making it tough for even KD even think about shooting a jumper. KD looks scared out there. He looks like he forgot how to handle basketball. I mean, every time the ball touches his hands, it's turnover. He's looking like Russell Westbrook. Ooh. Just turning the basketball over left and right. I mean, am I lying? I'm not lying. Game 1, 6 turnovers. Game 2, 6 turnovers. Game 3, 5 turnovers. 17 turnovers in 3 games of a first round of an NBA. Kevin Durant, you are a superstar. This is your franchise. We moved to the beat on how KD goes, all right? So Kevin Durant does not look like they got this KD from Wish. I don't know who the hell this Kevin Durant is, but they got this Kevin Durant from Wish. This ain't the KD that we grew up with. This ain't the most prolific scorer we see in the league, period. This ain't, I'm serious.
He's gonna kill you on Twitter.
Listen, when KD and I got,
you better hope Elon Musk saves you, man.
Well, listen, he got a whole bunch of people he got to react to on Twitter because if you saw his name was trending, they was killing him. All right, and I got some stats right here to further prove my point. God. KD, when guarded by Jason Tatum this series, only has 10 points to 10 turnovers. So far, this was in game 2. Now he has 17 turnovers. All right, this is the baskets that he made against Tatum. Game 1, Kevin Durant had 38 possessions, only 4 points against him. Game 2, 44 possessions when guarded by Jason Tatum, 4 points. Game 3, 37 possessions when guarded by Jason Tatum, 2 points. 110 total possessions. KD has only 10 total points against Jason Tatum. 6'8" light-skinned dude out of Missouri is taking his lunch, dinner, and serving it up to the homeless people down there. I mean, KD don't know what he's doing. Game 1, 23 points, solid, but it took KD 24 shots to get it. I've mentioned those 6 turnovers. Game 2, 27 points, shot 23% from the field, was scoreless in the second half. 4-17, as I mentioned, those 6 turnovers. Game 3, 16 points, 6 of 11, 5 turnovers. And hold on. As much as I love Kyrie, he is his part to blame of this too, Kyrie. You're the other superstar on this team. Game 1, you balled out. I'm going to give you credit. You fasting from Ramadan, all that. You can't eat. You had the energy. And game 1, balled out 39 points. Game 2, it looks like the Monstars came and zapped it out of you. 10 points. 4-13 shooting, 30%. Game 3, you think he would bounce back. In a pivotal game 3, we all know when you go down 0-3 to a team, you're most likely not going to win. 16 points, 6 of 17, 35 from the field, 35% from the field. You asking to do from your point guard, who is the most skilled, has the most bag, can dribble anywhere, cross or do all that, gives you 16 points on 17 shots.
Well,
Bruce Brown has been their best player this year. You cannot win a series with your bench player being your best player.
so
Yeah, Kyle, I think he just pulled the Eminem on us. Like we can't really trash the Nets.
I got more. I'm not done. Like I said, I don't want nobody to interrupt me. I got more. Listen.
There's a lot of stats.
No. I got some more things to get out. I got some more things to get out of my chest. I'm still speaking. All right.
We're gonna have to go to commercial soon.
Ain't no commercials. The podcast, we do whatever the hell we want. We all mentioned Kevin Durant is struggling to score. Give Boston Celtics their defense. They have been all up over him. But as a great scorer, you are known as one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. Your job is to figure it out. You've been playing in the league for 15 years. You mean to tell me you've seen every single defensive coverage that's been thrown against your 6'11" slender body. Your job is supposed to figure it out. No matter what kind of coach, you can score in your sleep. Why don't you run some of your plays that Golden State did for you when you had those open shots, KD? You haven't high enough basketball IQ. Why don't you do that? Since you say you didn't need a coach, you and Kyrie said, well, I don't think we need a coach. I mean, Kyrie Irving could be a coach one night. KD could be a coach. Hell, Bruce Brown could be a coach. Blake Griffin could be. Just give them all the clipboard and they just start coaching each other. Why don't you do that, KD? And this is. I saw this today. Steve Nash has got to go. He's got to go. His tenure as the Brooklyn Nets head coach has got to come to an end. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing out there as a coach. Doesn't have no type of in-game adjustments, no rotations, no motivations. Doesn't know what he's doing. This man has never coached a dribble in his NBA life. Listen, he's a great point guard, 2-time, league MVP. We get all his accolades. Probably has a high basketball IQ. Could call X's and O's like that. But your job as an NBA coach, as I mentioned, you have to make in-game adjustments. We have not seen him done that once this year. You have to be able to call plays for your star players. If they struggling, hey, I'm gonna call this so you get yourself going, get easy points. Has not done that once this year. Motivation, get your guys up and going. Has not done that once this year. And I want to get to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. Ben 10. I was hyped when we went down to the trade. James Harden didn't want to stay with us. Cool. We got Ben Simmons. We got him locked up for another 3, 4, 5 years. We got a shooter, Steph Curry. We got Andre Johnson. We good. Ben Simmons, just like his initials, BS. That's what he's been doing his back injury. Bull, you know what I'm talking about. BS, total bullshit. How do you hurt your back? You haven't played basketball in over a year. Do you just sit down too long? I mean, I guess he keeps hurting his back because he has no spine. He's spineless. He's gutless. No type of heart. No type of lip. I'm sick. I'm sick of this team. If I'm Ben Simmons' teammate, his teammates should be pissed because he not only quit on them in LSU, he quit on them in Philly, and now he's quitting on them in Brooklyn. Now, and Steve Nash, well, I wasn't really expecting him to play. I mean, what do you talk about? You were the people out there putting up these reports that, yeah, Ben Simmons is targeting game 4. Once he plays, we're right back. Now you all of a sudden you don't. He didn't want to get that pressure because Brooklyn was already down 0-3. And as I said, I mean, well, if they lose game 3, no reason for him to play. But game 3, you should have played. Game 3, your teammates needed you. Once you go down 0-3, there's no coming back from a series. Now, regardless of what you want to talk about Kyrie Irving's vaccination, whether you agree with it or not, I was a staunch supporter of Kyrie Irving. I still am now. But you could be hypocritical about this. There was a reason why Kyrie Irving was not playing. Ben Simmons had no reason for him not to play. There was no mandate in Philly. He refusely chose not to participate because his coaches said something mean about him after he was the cause of them losing to Atlanta Hawks. And now you get a fresh new start. You're playing with KD, Kyrie. Hey, Ben, you haven't played in a year. Let's get you right. Let's get you back in shape. Oh, no, my back. How you hurt your back? I've been sitting down too long. All right, we're going to get you right. You know what? Elimination game. I think I'm good. I'm still going to try to collect my $20 million check. You know what? Really? Really? You haven't even tried to play once. No type of gut. Listen, I'm not advocating for players to play hurt. Obviously, if you hurt, you can't go. But what have we seen Joel Embiid doing this postseason? Has a torn ligament in the stump. He's still playing out there gunning for his teammates. Steve Nash, back in when he was playing with the Phoenix Suns, man could barely walk, had back spasms. He was laying down. Still gunning out there for his teammates. Kobe Bryant, torn plantar fasciitis. Damn head torn and Achilles. Was going to still give it a go. Shot a free throw on a torn Achilles. Where's your heart? He would have had respect from everybody in the Nets locker room if he's like, you know what, guys, I think I'm gonna give it a go. Went out there, played a couple minutes. It's like I'm really hurt. I can't. But you don't even try to do that. Listen, I'm done with this team. I don't know what the future is going to hold for them. There's going to have to be some changes. I believe Steve Nash has got to go. Now, they probably won't do it because Kevin Durant is the president and general manager of that organization, but you got to find yourself a head coach. The red flag started when they said, well, we don't really need a coach. We could coach ourselves. And I was oblivious to that because I'm like, you know what? I mean, well, you got 2 of the best scorers of all time. We got James Harden. Yeah, maybe James Harden knew something that we didn't know. But as far as this team goes, they won't win a championship unless they have a leadership, a true leader in the locker room, a coach that knows how to call plays instead of ISOs for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving every other play, and somebody to hold these people accountable. But this, if they lose this to the Boston Celtics, what they most likely would be the worst disaster, would be the biggest blemish on Kevin Durant's legacy, along with Kyrie Irving's too. And like I said, give credit to Boston. They played a hell of a series. They turned it around, started the season 23-24. Ime Udoka, in my opinion, should be coach of the year. But this team, biggest failure. I'm talking about big, epic failure than the Lakers. You can't get swept when you have those 2 guns. But how this whole season went down, I'm not surprised. That's all I wanted to say because I don't want to keep taking up too much time. But Ben Simmons, I'm done with him. All right. I hope he don't collect this $20 million grievance that he's filed because you haven't played a dribble. All right. I don't understand somebody who doesn't show up to work, uses all the excuse in the book, and still wants to collect his money. Me, Kane, and Kyle, we got to work and do a 9 to 5. If we don't go to work one day, we don't get paid. You come to work next day after you miss work, the boss gonna be like, what you been? You ain't let us know you. Oh, I'm sorry. Mental health, you know. Oh, what's going on? You said something neat about me, and I decided not to show up to work. You're gonna get fired. Go ahead. I'm done. Listen, I'm still a supporter for the Nets. I'm a fan, but our job is to be objective. All right. I'm not no crazy out there fan that's gonna spew bullshit just to appease people. And it's no, you gotta be objective. This loss to the Boston Celtics will be atrocious based on the expectations that they had coming in. They were the favorites to win the title, and now all of a sudden you're gonna get going in the first round. All right, I'm done. Go ahead, guys. It's just sick of it. I just turned the game off. I don't even want to watch anymore. We're gonna get swept, but go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You all right, bro? Can we chime in just a little bit?
Go ahead.
A couple of things that you mentioned that I have to, Ramadan, Kyrie is fasting from Ramadan. That only happens during the day.
So is
daylight
Jalen
hours.
Brown. So is Jalen
so-
Brown. No excuses.
Right. So that's fine. So there's no my point is that I don't believe he used that as an excuse, but no one else should blame Ramadan for that. All right, that is, I think, off limits. We talked about you mentioned something about Steve Nash maybe should be calling plays. Listen, if you need to call a play for either of those two guys, then there is something wrong, and it's not the coach's fault. You don't need to call plays for those guys. You need to you need to call plays for other players who can deliver, who can, if your two stars are not delivering at that, if any particular game or any particular moment, you need to call plays. No one needs to call a play for Irving and Durant.
Kyle, in Golden State, you don't think they have players run for Steph Curry to get him wide open threes, to get him going? You don't think they have plays called for Klay Thompson to get him going?
Yeah, but you don't have to
rolls and screen the rolls and shit. But I mean, they don't have ISO plays called.
Yeah, but that's
right.
When has isolation basketball ever got you to a championship?
Right, exactly.
As Kevin Durant.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're playing ISO.
Yeah, exactly. They're
but
playing ISO ball. I don't think Nash is calling isolation.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I really don't think so.
Like, we don't need a coach. We can win this. I'm an ISO.
As your head coach, you a former 2-time league MVP. You should have be like, hold on, KD. You see KD going ISO. Timeout. KD, we're not playing that type of basketball. You got 2 championships. I've been in the league too. When the whole James Harden fiasco fell out, it was reported that Kevin Durant wanted a free phone offense. James Harden was the one who wanted ISO basketball. Well, it looks like that must have been a lie because it looked like KD doing all the ISO every time he touched the basketball. It's KD top of the key, ISO. Kyrie top of the key, ISO. Okay, Kyrie, you go. Okay, KD, your turn. They take turn. You don't win basketball like that, and it's so easy for Boston for Boston's defensive scheme because like, all right. we gonna put 4 bodies on KD. Make Bruce Brown beat us. Hell, Bruce Brown, you score 30, cool. As long as KD don't get 30, as long as Kyrie don't get 30, we fine.
I can tell you right.
ISO basketball doesn't win.
I'll tell you right now, as somebody who's been in New England for 10 years, the difference between the Celtics historically as the team who has won the most championships in the NBA, historically is that ownership and the GM back the coach in Boston all the time, and they don't care who you got playing for them. You know what I mean? If in Brooklyn, I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean? I don't think the ownership and GM is backing Steve Nash. I think they're backing their star players, and I always think that's a mistake. It leads to anarchy, and they're not playing team ball. I mean, tell me if you guys disagree.
No,
Nash is
totally
a dog
agree.
with no teeth.
I totally agree.
With no teeth,
You're right. But they say you would think somebody who's played in the league is one of the top 75 greatest players of all time. You would have the stomach to be like, listen, KD, I know you're the big reason why I got the job, but my job is to help us win a championship, is to coach you. I'm not gonna be a yes man, okay? So I'm gonna have some players that we gonna run. All right, no more of that ISO ball crap because look what the isolation ball got him in OKC. A blown 3-1 lead to Golden State and hasn't reached the finals since 2012. When he went to Golden State, 2 back-to-back chips, would have been 3 if they didn't get hurt. But guess what? They were playing team basketball.
Yeah,
wow, they were moving the basketball.
They had to play team basketball in Golden State because Kevin Durant wasn't the big dog on that team. Steph Curry's been playing team ball since the beginning, since he was playing with Monte Ellis. You know what I mean? Like he's been a team player from day one. You know what I mean? That's why you always hear Splash Brothers and Splash 3. You know what I mean? Him and Monte, you know what I mean, were partners. Steph Curry is a team player. Yeah, I've always wondered about Kevin Durant when it comes to that. But they weren't calling plays in Golden State for Kerr wasn't calling plays for Kevin Durant. Not, you know what I mean, like ISO plays for Kevin. No, he's a real coach. You know what I mean? Like he had to fit in that scheme. Why do you think he left? Why do you think he left? They could have had 4 more championships. And I'd have been like, okay, bravo. He went to the Nets because he could call the shots. And they figure if they load up with enough firepower, they're going to win a championship with brute force. And we should have known that wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean?
Excellent point.
Miami Heat, right? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Go Lakers. It doesn't always work to load up with firepower because these other guys, man, they're not gonna sit down and roll it over for you just because you Kevin Durant or LeBron James, man. These are all NBA players, man. They all coming to play, and if they're gonna listen to their coach and run those teams, those screen rolls and pick and rolls and blah blah. That's another thing. The Nets to copy Kevin Durant, they don't want to play pick and roll basketball anyway. They ain't got no answer to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And go back-
pick and roll has been a part of the Celtics game plan from Red Auerbach days. Yeah,
And Kane, to go back to your point about KD leaving Golden State, he could have been on his 4th championship or soon.
of course.
Think about this. Obviously,
Absolutely.
we all know KD tore his Achilles in 2019 with the Warriors. He would have taken a year off to recover. Same thing with Klay Thompson. Do you see what's going on with Jordan Poole? The emergence of Jordan Poole, what he's doing. You could have Poole. Wiggins was an all-star this year.
Yeah.
Golden State would have been on. You think with them in 2017 and 18 and 19 with KD, they would have been unstoppable this year. It feels like injuries, and I'm not trying to get off topic, talk about the Warriors, but it feels like injuries long-term have been a blessing for Golden State because, like, whoa, we developed Jordan Poole. Look what he's become. We turned Wiggins into an all-star. Look what they become. And even that Jonathan Kuminga kid coming off the bench, he's super athletic. KD would have been like, I don't even have to score 20. I got Steph, Clay, Draymond running the ship. Poole can get me 25. Wiggins can get me 20. I'm good.
That's why all the teams I root for are teams. Celtics, Suns, Golden State. You know what I mean? These are teams. I don't want Golden State to beat my Suns, but you know, you get the point. You know what I mean? Like you can't. I know this load up on firepower thing is a thing in the NBA, but man, it's not a superstar game. It's a team game.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's not
Teams make superstars. Superstars don't make teams.
Yeah. If you wanna win alone, go play tennis.
No, for real.
Golf.
For real.
Right.
I didn't mean to take up that whole 30 minutes, but again, I was super pissed off.
Was it only 30 minutes?
Possibly an hour.
I can't take away your passion on that, man. That was passionate. So.
And I'm just so I don't even want to see Ben Simmons' face. I mean, Reggie Miller called him out on Twitter.
Are you really
Rightfully
surprised
so.
about Ben Simmons? Kyle called that
so.
Kyle called that 2 episodes ago.
He did.
The Ben Simmons thing. He did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
You
I
know,
hate to admit it, but he did.
I don't have to be Nostradamus to figure it out either.
Yo, let's go out west with this, man. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of speaking of emerging breakout players and everything this season, this postseason, my guy Jordan Poole, who I watched in college because I watched a lot of NCAA basketball, men's basketball, and I did not see this Jordan Poole coming, but I always knew that he was really good. He's got a high basketball IQ and he was talented. I'm actually surprised that it even took this long, you know. But the man is great. He's got the charisma, he's got the personality, he's got the talent, and he's got the IQ. You know.
Yeah.
And I think between Golden State can come at you in waves. You know, between your classic, leaders of Green and Curry and Thompson, and then you have Poole behind them, and I just think it's and even Gary Payton II is like I'm really impressed with him, and they play basketball, they play team ball. It's fun to watch. Even if I get annoyed with when they lose a game that they should win, I think they should win. It's still fun to watch because it's like, wow, man, if I was a pro basketball player, I want to play there. Just because it seems joyful,
Yeah, they breed stars out there, man. Definitely. I'd have to say Jordan Poole is my surprise star in the playoffs so far. But I'm again with the culture in Golden State, you know what I mean? I like what about Golden State, what I like about Phoenix, you know what I mean? It's team culture, and they will crank you up to 10 on, you know what I mean, on those teams, man. I think, and the Celtics,
My biggest star in the playoffs so far has got to be Jalen Brunson out of Dallas. I mean, he's been scoring in bunches, holding down since Luka's injury. 30. I think he's averaging 30 points a game so far. He carried the Mavs single-handedly a game. I believe it was game 2. He had 41 against Utah, tied the series up. Now it's tied 2-2 at the time of this recording. So possibly Dallas got back home court advantage. We'll see how that goes now. Luka's back, but Jalen Brunson, man, has been shocking. I believe he's due for a contract extension, so he's gonna get paid this summer. Hopefully, gonna be a 10, 11, maybe 15 million a year per year guy. Very young, played at Villanova, so you already know he got that Philly street toughness in him. Something that Ben Simmons don't have, but nonetheless, Jalen Brunson.
Well, Ben Simmons isn't from Philly, so he's from.
Well, okay, but he
was born in Australia.
He played in Philly. He played in Philly.
Well, that's worse. Crocodile Dundee, man.
Well, yeah, but Jalen Brunson isn't from Philly too. He just played college ball.
Right,
so.
I know, but yeah, you talked about the Philly toughness.
Yo, while we're talking about Dallas, though, can I say that like sneaking Jason Kidd in honorable mention, not a player, but I think he's doing a good job as a coach. Yeah. Just say that. You know what I mean?
No, really.
Which surprises me after Brooklyn, and you know what I mean? Like it's a surprise, and I like kids. So
that's a good mention. That's a good mention. That kid is doing his thing.
Yeah. He should be at least in the discussion for coach of the year too. Nobody saw Dallas being that good, especially after the Porzingis trade. You're right, Kane.
But I will have to say that getting back to Brunson just briefly, he has been doing that all this season, but it's not no secret that to him or to anybody else that it is a contract year, and people who you tend to turn it up a couple of notches when it's a contract year and they're playing for a raise. So I'll just put that out there. I'm not saying he's going to have a fall off on his game next season, but I don't think it's a coincidence either.
Yeah, hopefully not. So still sticking out west, talk about Golden State, as we mentioned. Both you guys have Jordan Poole as the most improved player. Is Golden State the favorite to win the title with the emerging the pool and alongside Devin Booker's injury? We'll talk about his injury a little bit later. How does that affect Phoenix? But now that with Jordan Poole becoming that third splash brother out of nowhere, is Golden State now the favorite to win the title and come out the West?
Kyle's favorite, I guarantee you that. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't like to put that out there because I'm like, I'm not superstitious, but at the same time, I want to leave room for, the one thing that I'll say about the Warriors is that sometimes it feels like they winning comes so easily to them that sometimes they might take certain moments for granted, not entire games, certain moments during a game that they might just take for granted, saying like they got this, they don't have to worry about it. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I am, but that I sometimes I feel like you can be so talented and have such a loaded roster that it could be a matter of you just getting complacent at times, So I'll say that, but I do feel that they've been a favorite, even though they slipped to the third seed. I think they've been at least one of the, favorites for, at least most of this season because they've, and they just turned it up a notch in the postseason against Denver. I don't see anybody else coming out other than the Suns, despite Devin Booker's injury.
I have to agree with everything you just said, man. I think that the Suns, let's start with the Warriors, man. All credit to them, man. They're playing great basketball. Like Jordan Poole is quickly becoming one of my favorite players. Now, with the Suns, it's not even just a matter of me being a fan, but I'm not going to sit here and count them out because of Devin Booker's injury. Because a month ago, everybody was counting them out because of Chris Paul's injury.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they increased their lead in the West. You know what I mean? So, like, when are we going to learn to stop doing that? Like, the Suns play defense.
You got the top two defenses in the league, Warriors and the Suns.
And that's why it's going to be a dog fight between the two of them, whether Booker is in or not. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Warriors are only ever going to lose to a team like the Suns, and the Suns are only going to lose to a team like the Warriors. You know what I mean? So I don't think it really changes a whole lot, especially since the hamstring was kind of mild, wasn't it? He might be back before 7. So the Suns just got to pull one more out, I would think.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think it's anything like, I feel like if they're going to, if they can really close this out quickly, then he'll have that much more rest, much more
Yeah.
time, and I think they'll
Yeah.
be fine,
So without him, the Suns have to win. I'd say one more. He'd probably be back for game 7. I'm thinking. 'Cause
Wait,
I heard,
against the Pelicans
yeah, the
or
series they're
round
playing, yeah.
2?
Series they win
No,
now.
no,
Series
no,
one.
no, no.
As I heard, he was out for 2 games.
No. Books is supposed to be out for 2-3 weeks. He missed game 3, game 4, but now he's out for
Ooh.
2-3 weeks. Yeah, he
Oh,
got a
Okay,
he
all
got
right,
a
that
grade
changes
1
now. All right,
hamstring strain.
all
Yeah,
right, that changed. I see. The last I had heard it was that it was a mouth. So
okay.
you know what I mean. So forgive me on that. But I mean, they're not playing the Warriors in this series. They're playing the Pelicans. You know what I mean? Like CP3 has done a phenomenal job, man. I mean, we can't sleep on the Suns because Booker's out. I think they take the Pelicans in 7. You know what I mean?
wow.
And then if that gives them enough in 7, I think it goes to 7. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm not
they
going to
haven't
say,
played
I'm not
good.
going to,
They've been playing good.
we're not going to take, no, it's going to be a dog fight with our Book. But you know what I mean? Our defense is going to prevail. We got this. You know what I mean? I think it's 7. And then Book will come back after round 1, and we'll be back in it for 2.
So it pretty much goes into the next one with Devin Booker's injury. So, Kane, you already know you're a Phoenix Suns guy. I know you're
Mhm.
gonna ride with the ship.
Absolutely.
I think with Phoenix, like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about their series with the Pelicans because number one, they're a very well coached team. Willie Green, who was an assistant coach under Monte Williams. So he already has experience and played too in the league. So I'm very concerned about that. He's gonna have his team. The game 4, they fought tooth and nail. I mean, that kid, that point guard, I forgot his name. Alvarado. He was all over. He was all over Chris Paul like a pit bull, man. I mean, you got to give him credit. They got young studs. They got undrafted rookies there who want to play hard, who want to make a name for themselves. They got chips on their shoulder. They got the perfect guy. I think Willie Green down the line, 10, 15 years, he might be one of the next great head coaches mentioned because how he has that Pelicans team fighting. Remember, they weren't even expected to go anywhere after Zion was done for the year, but you got
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram, who is balling in this series.
Yeah. True.
But Zion dunks. He can still he dunks. So all those videos where he's dunking.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a superstar, man. Come on.
Congratulations, Zion Williamson, who's 6'6", is dunking in an NBA court. I mean, wow, you're supposed to do that when you're that tall and that athletic.
Mhm.
Whoa, let's throw a parade. He just won a championship.
But I think, Wells, to your point, I think that's why the Pelicans take them to 7. You know what I mean? Because they are next. The Pelicans, to me, are just like Memphis. You know what I mean? They're the future of the game. You know what I mean? Like I look at both of those teams the same way. I think there's just a crap load of superstars coming off of those teams. You know what I mean? And I think they're the future. You know what I mean? But I think Suns got too much firepower and they're too much experience in the top of the playoffs. They're gonna take it in 7, even without Dev.
Yeah, that's one of my things. I always feel like you got the youth, and the inexperience of the postseason. So totally different beast. That's what I said about Cleveland. When it was mentioned, they could go for, they only had 1 or 2 players on there who had ever tasted postseason for. And it's going to be the same situation with the Pelicans. They're going in there like, hey, they don't know what they're supposed to. They don't know that they're quote unquote supposed to lose. They're just going out and they're balling their hearts out, whatever. And that's what that is. But at some point, the lack of experience is going to get to them, and the lights are only going to get brighter.
But I'm not. Yeah, the future looks bright for New Orleans. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from them. I think the fact that I said they're going to 7 shows you how much I respect that team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think they're going to 7. I think they're going to put it up, but I think Phoenix will pull it out in the end.
Yeah. Well, it's tied 2-2 now at the time of this recording, so I would try to close them out in 6 because with the playoffs, especially with all the injuries that we see in Devin Booker's hammy, Kyle Lowry, now I got a hammy issue. So you don't want You don't want another one of your star players to roll bad on the ankle or get back spasms and they out for a game. Get him out the way as quick as possible. Give you more rest time so he can Booker get more treatment on that hammy. But I think Phoenix is gonna beat them in 6. Now I do have worry if they
That
go to the next
surprises me.
round. No, well,
That
like
surprises me.
everything you guys just mentioned, because Phoenix is hungry. They lost last year. CP3 is hungry. He wants his first ring. Devin
Mhm.
Booker has elevated his game from last year to this year. He's
Mhm.
hungry. He was in the discussion for MVP. Monty Williams is in a discussion again for Coach of the Year. They won 60 plus games. So I think, like everything mentioned, Phoenix is definitely more hungrier to win this year. And I mentioned too, I'm gonna try to go quick with this. I think Ayton, now that Booker was down, Ayton had to be like the number one scoring guy. Instead of his usual 17 and 10 that he averaged for the season, he needed to give you 25 and 15. Like those early Anthony Davis when he was in New Orleans, Giannis type numbers. Because like he wanted that max contract in the beginning of the season. He didn't get it because Phoenix thought, well, we didn't think you were that guy. You haven't showed us enough growth, enough improvement to give you 150 plus million. He needed to be that guy. Now he did it in games 3 when he had 23 and 8 in game 4, 28-17. But it's like, all right, you need to continue. We need to count on you. And you gonna be that number one scoring option. CP3 is 37. He can't score 30 like he used to. In the clutch, we can count on CP3, but not 37 years old. That's a lot of miles on that body. I think Cam Johnson needs to step up. 13 points, 4 out of 12, 8 points, 317 shooting, 11 points, 410 shooting. And you want a big deal too, Cam Johnson? You're not gonna get it with that type of number. Jay Crowder, even though he's more known for his defense, Mr. 1-1-1-1 in game 1. He needs to step up too. Jay Crowder needs to get at least 10, 15 points a game because they gotta score. They gotta replace Devin Booker's 28, 29 points per game that he gave you guys in the postseason, 26 that he gave you in the regular season. So those guys need to step up. But
Kills me though. Cam Johnson is a 30-point a night guy, but sporadically.
If he gets hot. And he wants a new deal too. So it was like you gotta be consistent.
Let's see what he does tomorrow night.
Let's pause right here for a second.
All right. Welcome back to Hoops All In again. We got an update at the time of this recording. The Brooklyn Nets are officially out the playoffs. They got swept by the Boston Celtics in game 4 of their home court at the Barclays Center. And this is in time live reaction, by the way. So I'm gonna try to be as quick as
and not cry.
Not cry and not try to curse too much on this podcast, but they lost by 4.
Even worse.
KD right now, at this moment in time, can no longer be considered as the best player on the planet. You cannot be the best player and get swept in the first round. Listen, the NBA media and all these sports outlets, they hold LeBron James to on such an unfair standard. LeBron James has a bad regular season game, they kill him. KD needs to have that same kind of energy, that same type of treatment that LeBron has been getting for the past 19 years of criticism tonight. You lose 6 straight playoff games, 2 dating back to last year to the Bucks. Wasn't your fault. Played great. But this year you get swept, and you were the favorite. You were the favorite to come out the East, and you get swept to the Boston Celtics. To make things worse, I'm not trying to go off on Ben Simmons anymore than I need to, but I just checked. He wasn't even sitting courtside on the bench with his team. Ben Simmons was not sitting on the bench with his team.
Was he hanging out with Zion?
I don't care what he was doing. He wasn't sitting on the bench with his team after he came out and said, yeah, I'm not going to play an elimination game 4. My back is a little, I sat down too much. He's probably playing Warzone or playing damn near Fortnite on Twitch or streaming some stuff like that.
Look,
we need to get rid of Ben Simmons, man.
Congratulations to the Boston Celtics.
Yes, congrats to Boston. Like, congratulations. They deserved it. Yes. They were the better team. They were better coached. Something Steve Nash doesn't know what to do. They were better coached all around. Give credit to the better team. They had a successful game plan. They put it to fruition, and they won. But KD, your legacy takes a huge, huge hit after this. You leave Golden State after tearing your Achilles to go join this? To get swept in the first round?
Well,
Really?
what about? I mean, does he deserve all the heat though?
Yes. Yes.
What?
No, he
Ky-
no, he
You're not going to give
no,
Kyrie none of the heat
no,
after this
listen,
season.
listen.
Right.
No, hold on. KD deserves, if I had to cut it down to percentage, KD deserves 50% of the blame, Kyrie 25%, Steve Nash 25%. KD, the reason why he deserves most because you're a superstar. Win, lose, or draw, we all know watching this game, the superstar is going to get the bulk of the credit when he wins, when the team wins, and especially if he played decent, and he's going to get the bulk of the criticism when the team lose because as your job as a superstar, and we gave LeBron, not us, but the media gave LeBron James hell for anything related to that related to the team's success. We have to hold Kevin Durant, who was phenomenal, to that same standard. When Kawhi Leonard lost a 3-1 lead in the bubble, he got killed. Okay, when Steph Curry blew a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he got killed. Kevin Durant is a superstar. I don't want to hear, oh, he came off an Achilles. Look how incredibly great he bounced back from that Achilles injury, averaging almost 30. He needs to be held to the same type of criticism that other great players need to be held. And
I agree.
He is great.
I agree, but there were also people who were saying, "Oh, well, Kyrie is a star too, and he should have been on the top 75 list." Whatever. I mean, I think maybe a little more than 25% is warranted, And I'm not talking about his personal choices. I'm not passing judgment on his personal choices and health choices and things like that. I'm talking about the simple fact that when he's another star on that team, and plain and simple, the stars get the heat, they get the credit. And he's one of them. So, I think he should get just as much. My question is, and I'm kind of tongue in cheek, but he won a championship in Cleveland, forced his way out of there, pledged his allegiance to Boston, and then left them.
On Lucky, stomped on the leprechaun,
and left them. You know what I mean? I wonder if he's gonna wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I don't like Brooklyn anymore.
I mean, Kyle, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if KD announces he wants to trade. I mean, I don't know where he's gonna go. He's locked up for another 5 years, but Kyrie Irving don't have a contract. He could opt out next year. So who knows what this dude? And listen, I have been the biggest Kyrie supporter throughout the whole whatever vaccine stance, whatever you guys want to take about that. But at least I'm objective.
I could never tell.
At least I'm objective.
That's surprising.
At least I'm objective, unlike people on this podcast. But
oh no, we're very objective. We just we're just not objective about
we just call
we're not objective about your subjectivity.
Yeah,
well, you guys are also haters.
You
guys are also haters
such a low seed to begin with.
Well, you guys also hate.
Hold on.
On the fact.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second because let's pause for a second because.
Welcome back to a bonus edition of the Hoops All In podcast. Worland's Francois, Kane Legacy, Kyle Anthony, and we got a very special guest host joining us. My boy lives in PA right now, Jordan Wiggins. Man, what's going on? How you doing?
How y'all doing, fellas?
All right. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining the podcast on the show. Really appreciate you taking the time. So just in the midst of NBA playoffs action. Round one, we talked about a lot of things. The Nets got swept by the Boston Celtics. Devin Booker's going to be out for 2-3 weeks due to a hammy. So, Phoenix is going to have to step it up without him. Biggest surprising stars so far in the playoffs, Jordan Poole, Jalen Brunson, all those type of guys. And Golden State, they're looking pretty healthy. They're looking solid. They're looking strong. They're a lot of people's favorites to come out to West and win the championship. And now we want to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, the other team out in the East, which is very, very gutted. Milwaukee, Boston, Miami. But Joel Embiid has a torn ligament in his hand, and he is deciding to put surgery off until the end of the Sixers season, whenever that is, to have surgery. So we want to ask, how does Embiid's thumb injury affect the Sixers in the playoffs and throughout the playoffs, and can they rely on James Harden to carry that load now that their big man is hampered? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Carry the load against who? So they're going to beat Toronto. Yeah. I mean, you see them saying like they beat Toronto, then they up against
without Fred VanVleet.
They're up against the Celtics on Milwaukee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
Like at that, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. And no disrespect to Philly at all. but carry the load against who at this point? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of big guns waiting right now. You know?
Jordan, what do you think?
I think the 76ers can do it. I mean, Joel Embiid with his finger injury, I think won't stop him. I mean, I feel like they have great players all around overall that can probably carry the load to finish in the series. I mean, they're down by 11 right now with 3 minutes left, but it's plenty of basketball, plenty of time to get the job done. And, it's only time can tell.
Oh, we talking about this series? Yeah, they're gonna beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna beat Toronto.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, they're
obviously,
gonna
but,
beat
like,
Toronto.
the
Yeah.
playoffs, how does it affect them going deep?
Oh,
'Cause
but I mean,
Philly
yeah,
was built
that's
to
what
win
I'm
a
saying. Like,
championship.
past this, they're gonna play either Miami or Atlanta.
Mm.
I guess that's a good matchup either way, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he said-
you know what I mean? But the other bracket is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, round 3, like 3 strikes, you're done. Like, I don't see them really. I mean, really.
I just want to talk about the
Milwaukee or
fact.
Celtics?
I just want to talk about the fact that Joel Embiid seems to always be injured since he played his 1 year in Kansas college. The man is borderline all-star street clothes squad. So
Oh, Streetcar
I
Squad is
admi-
back again, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
admire the fact that he's like he has when he can play through an injury or whatever that he has pulled it out. But I'm not surprised. Like I've never seen a guy. Well, no, I have. There's plenty of them. But I mean, the fact that the injury just seems to find him.
Yeah.
Well, let's
all the
talk about
time.
a real Philly boy playing through injuries, Kobe Bryant. I mean, you know what I mean? He played through worse injuries than that. You know what I mean? And won
Yes, sir.
championships.
Yeah.
That's Philly for real. You know?
Yeah.
So
You gotta do what
I
you
got
gotta
no
do to get the
disrespect
job
for
done.
Mhm.
Philly whatsoever, but that's Kobe
Mhm.
Bryant. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is not Kobe Bryant. You know?
Mentally, yeah. The mentality.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I agree.
yeah,
Totally
yeah.
agree. No one's ever going to
Not mentally, yeah. Like, because I mean, Kobe Bryant got broke up too, but so did Michael Jordan. They ain't stopped them dudes. You know what I mean? Like, Kobe was the toughest in the game, right? In my mindset, and he from Philly, so that's
Well,
big
you
ups
know,
to Philly.
but
That's-
but also, I mean, at this time of year, who's not feeling a little out of it physically at one time or another? I mean, it's a lot of wear and tear. So I mean,
True.
at this point, you can't even talk about, oh, I'm not feeling my 100%. Who's feeling 100%? Unless you're, the 7th or 8th guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really take much stock into that. If he says he could play, then we're expecting him to play. It's not even a shooting hand, right? So,
Hmm.
he'll
Damn.
flop like he
You see
usually
how
does,
he
and
you
he'll
see
be
how he
okay.
put that in there? It's not even
Not
a
even a
shooting hand.
Yeah,
Like,
shit.
Wells, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Do you think I think we all agree Philly's gonna take this from Toronto regardless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think they can handle Miami or Atlanta?
No. If Atlanta's not beat Miami, so it's gonna be Miami.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ice Tray is melting.
Yeah.
Trey Young is by himself. Okay, like he's by himself. Like he ain't got no team out there.
Ice Tray is melting in the heat. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before somebody was going to say, okay, all right, enough of this. Enough of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so. I think it would be a 6-game series, but I also think with Bam Adebayo, Miami defense, they're one of the most physical defensive teams in the league, and especially now it's the playoffs. They're gonna be allowed to have a lot more physical contact that they won't call, the rest won't call. So I think Bam Adebayo is gonna neutralize him to somewhat degree. Miami just has too much shooters. I mean, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Hopefully Kyle Lowry come back. When you leave Kyle Lowry open for a corner 3, he's gonna knock him down from time to time. PJ Tucker, who's another defensive body, if the Miami decides to go small, they can match him up, not defending Joel Embiid 1-on-1, but use him to double and then push the pace down the paint, down the floor. But I think it'll be a 6-game series. I think Miami ultimately would take it. And thing is too, it's gonna be a battle of coaches. As good as Doc Rivers is, he's not really a great coach. This man has the most blown 3-1 leads ever in coaching. So you're going up against Eric Spoelstra, who won 2 championships, who know what it's like to coach big personalities. I mean, he had to deal with LeBron, D-Wade, Udonis Haslam, Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, all those great. So he knows what it's like to have those personalities and to keep them in check. So I feel like ultimately Eric Spoelstra is going to outcoach him. Miami has a lot of bodies that they could throw at Embiid. James Harden doesn't look the same. I don't know if he still has a hammy issue. I don't know if I don't know if he's too drunk from going to the nightclubs every night. Something is off with him. I mean, he don't look the same.
It's funny we've been talking about this for 10 minutes. Ain't brought up Harden until now.
Yeah,
that says
Harden
all
don't
it
look the
needs to be
same.
said,
I forgot about him actually.
Me too. Really. How do you feel about that, Jordan? That whole trade, man.
What, the trade with Harden going to
Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see what they was doing there in terms of like trying to get another player, especially another superstar to help Embiid. But like, I don't know if with that trade, Philly necessarily won that trade in terms of the people they gave away. I felt like Steph Curry was a great asset with them. And the certain amount of players that they gave up to Brooklyn, I don't think will necessarily help Philly get a championship. I feel like
it definitely didn't help Brooklyn.
That Ben Simmons trade didn't help Brooklyn.
Yeah, he didn't help either team. So yeah.
It didn't help. Like Ben Simmons, just Ben Simmons right now. I felt like he should have just played that last game, man.
Soft as hell.
Yeah.
Who y'all got coming out of the East?
Milwaukee.
At this point,
Milwaukee. The Bucks. Nobody's beating the Bucks. Healthy when Chris Middleton comes back. Milwaukee easily. Milwaukee. Boston will probably give them run for their money if they meet in the finals
too. Right now, Tatum look good, man.
Yeah, and they're playing good. But championship, they're battle tested. Giannis is right now the best player on the planet. Screw KD. After that performance, yeah, I think it's and like I said, Giannis has a ring. And the one thing that you could do after a superstar player wins a ring, and he's like, I got the monkey off my back. You dealing with a different animal now. Because he got no care in the world. And especially Giannis improved his game from this year to last year, adding that jump shot and knocking down free throws from time to time. I think it's Milwaukee.
You can say a lot of the same stuff about Tatum, though.
Yeah. Well, Tatum has gotten better. He did.
They're gonna meet in round 2, not the finals, though.
They're gonna meet round 2?
Yeah.
Really? That's a round 2 matchup?
Yeah.
Damn,
that's 3 and 2.
That should be
third seed, second seed, third seed. Yeah.
Whoever wins that round 2 is basically winning in the East.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, basically. Yeah. I know Miami's the one seed, and I don't want disrespect, but hey, I mean, I don't see them taking down Milwaukee. And if Boston pulls up, that would be an upset. If Boston pulls it off, upset against Milwaukee, I don't see Miami beating them. What about you, Kyle? Who you think?
Yeah.
It was funny. I don't know why. Yeah, I think the who are they? The Bucks are loaded for sure. I mean, at this point, every team is fairly loaded, except probably if you look at Atlanta, but and Chicago. Are they still in?
Yeah.
I don't really, but I don't.
Poor Chicago.
The thing I always watch is like when a team wins a championship, do they have that same intensity the following season? Sometimes you see a little drop off. You see like that hangover that they call it, or whatever, the post-championship hangover and everything. And they were lagging towards the beginning of the season, but they really stepped it up, the Bucks. And I think that they're going to. I think they're going to come out the East because. Like Worlds' point, Giannis has that monkey off his back, and now they can all play a little more loose and still feel like they are, the defending champs that they are, and pull it all out, pull out all the stops, as long as they have Chris Middleton.
So everybody thinks basically Milwaukee, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with it.
That's what you're saying, Jordan?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like I said, like what Worlds pointed out there, when they face Boston in round 2, that's going to be an interesting matchup early on. And that's going to be basically the determined factor, whoever comes out of the East.
Yeah.
I think Milwaukee still is going to pull it off.
I agree. I think it's either Milwaukee or Boston. Whoever wins in round 2 is going to They taking the East. There's nothing else out there. I mean, like as much of a hater as I am shocked. I'm not saying this about the Nets right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
I really
God.
am. Like, I really am. I honestly am. Like, I hate them, but I would have been like, no, the Nets can never not be part of the conversation. But wow.
Oh, except for now.
Street clothes squad. We got to come to t-shirts. Street clothes squad.
That'll sell. Make sure we get that copyrighted though.
Right? Yeah, that's Kyle.
I'm working on it.
Kyle, you get the
I'm jotting it down right now.
You get the copyright. I'll get the register.
Get the graphics on,
yeah.
Oh, God.
So Joel Embiid, we all agree that that's not going to make a difference in the long run.
No.
Against Toronto,
No,
yeah.
not-
I mean, like they're going to beat Toronto.
Yeah.
We could beat Toronto.
Yeah,
We
the
just-
And,
Bulls,
and
yeah.
Fred VanVleet,
Yeah.
Fred
With
is
a
out
big
right
dumb
now.
guy in the middle.
Yeah.
But Fred VanVleet is out right now, so
Yeah.
you know, come on, man, that's dessert for them right now.
Yeah.
And they got up 3-1 even with Fred VanVleet. So I don't think he's a good player. He wouldn't have made a difference, that much of a difference. Let's be real.
I think he just booked his fishing trip early, and he's like, I'm not canceling that.
You know what's starting to worry me though? All these damn East games are sweeps, and the West are all dog fights.
Mm.
So the East is gonna come out. Whoever takes the East gonna come out fresh and clean, no caffeine. The West gonna be exhausted. Because the East breaking out all the brooms. Man. Damn.
Well, gentlemen
Oh,
sweeps.
man.
Milwaukee's up 3-1, I think, right now.
It's gentleman sweep. Of course. We
Yeah,
got to give the
gentleman
opposition one. Yeah. We don't do that. Yeah.
Something the Nets couldn't do. Sucky ass team.
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right. Well,
I never thought I'd be seeing that. I really didn't.
that's
I'm not gloating because you know what I wanted, Worlds.
Mhm.
I wanted to go against the Warriors in the West, and then the Nets in the East. That's
Oh,
why
so
wanted
he
to
and
see
I,
it.
so he and I could
So
duke it out.
me versus Cal, and then me and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm a big dog. I like those fights. I didn't want the Nets to go down like this. I really didn't. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Are you even a Philly fan, Jordan?
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
You don't want to know my team right now, man.
Who's your team?
No, go ahead.
Man, them Lakers, man. Lakers.
Oh,
Have they always been your team, or is this just
Always
the
been
reason?
my team.
all right. If they've
Okay.
always been your
Since
team,
Shaq
that's
and
fine.
Kobe, man.
All right.
Oh, okay. All
All right, I
right.
get you.
all right,
They always
okay.
been my team.
Not a bandwagon. All right. I
All right,
respect that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I respect
The
that.
way they
too,
went
then.
out this season, man.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't believe
I
it.
wanted to.
But yeah. Okay.
That's all the biggest guns in the league except for Curry.
Yeah.
All day.
Well, yeah. I mean, LeBron did say he'd like to play with Curry, so.
When in the off season? In the Drew League?
2K.
Oh,
my God.
uh,
Yeah, keep that in there. I don't care. I got guns. I ain't worried about LeBron.
I got bodyguards.
We got security.
oh God, that's
But anyway,
LA was a heartbreaker. That was
yeah.
that was-
Not for me.
That was good on paper.
didn't break my heart, but okay.
Not for me.
Sorry,
Well, for a
Jordan.
lot of people, me neither. But they cleared the way for the Suns. I'm happy. But
They cleared the way for the Suns a lot, like back in November.
At one point, I just wanted them to make the play. That's all I wanted.
I know.
At least.
I'm saying, but it was a heartbreaker to millions. There's a
And
lot of
millions.
people in LA, man. Oh God, I'm sorry, guys. I love LA.
It's all right. No, I love the city.
I love the city too, man. Santa
But
Monica.
we're not jumping on you as a Lakers fan. I'm a Knicks fan.
Hey, give them more time to have some awesome concerts, Staples.
Oh, it's Bitcoin, not Staples.
Oh, crypto. Yeah.
Oh,
Crypto,
Bitcoin
crypto.
now.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crypto,
Crypto.
Bitcoin,
Crypto. All right.
Hey,
NFT
hey,
arena, whatever,
hey,
whatever it
Yo,
is.
Kyle. I mean, now since the Barclays Center is vacated until November, we could go to some concerts right there too. There ain't nothing gonna be happening.
There you
Ain't
go.
nothing
Oh,
gonna be
you're
happening
right.
at Barclays for the next couple months though. Let's
Oh,
go.
they even have college graduations there, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin Bieber.
Suddenly wide open. Maybe the big three league will go there. Who knows?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, that's disgraceful. That's,
Oh my god. Man, misery and pain. Misery and pain. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta
All
laugh.
right. All right,
Uh.
guys. Thank you for tuning in to the bonus edition of Hoops All In podcast. World's Francois, Kyle Anthony Kane Legacy, and special guest host Jordan Wiggins. Thank you for taking the time to stop by and talk hoops with us. As always, this episode of Hoops All In is produced by Rain Multimedia. Check them out at rainmm.com. Subscribe to the World's TV YouTube channel. Follow Hoops All In on Instagram and Twitter. And subscribe to Rain Multimedia on YouTube as well. And all the music as well. Thanks to DJ Kane Legacy down below, that dude right there, for producing the music and soundtrack for all of us. Once
Appreciate
again,
that.
Worlds, Kyle, Kane, special guest Jordan, signing out. See you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys.
See you.